What is Blaze everybody, Blazer36 here, and it kind of feels a little weird to be back on camera again, but I am back. I never left. I've just been posting my music videos and speed paints. So for this video, I wanted to look back on a video that I did a while ago, and that was my how to draw your very own character according to me. I don't think that I went too into depth on that video, and I wanted to update it. I wanted to do a part 2 of that video, because if you don't know, I am currently back at Firealpaca College. I'm getting my second bachelor's degree in interactive media arts, and in that major I've taken a couple semesters already, and so far I have learned a whole lot. And this semester, the last semester last year that I have taken, I have learned a lot of things. And one of those things is when you're creating a character, you need a little bit more depth when creating your own character. What do I mean by that? Well, in the last video that I did, how to create your own character, I basically just gave you tips on how to start creating your own character. I used examples of certain cartoons that I have watched, as I was growing up, how they created their characters, character development, all that sort of good things, and how I created my characters. But I didn't have depth. What do I mean by that? Well, what do I mean by that is I didn't have the full foundation of what my character is. I didn't have a character sheet. I didn't have a proper description of what my character is. I didn't have a storyboard or anything. I just simply created the character just to create the character. And that goes for a lot of other characters that I have drawn. One example that I can say about this is my comic that I did, Earthboy and Friends. This is the volume 1. If we just go into depth, this is going to cover it. If we just go into depth of how it was, creating this, it was basic. It was very basic. Keep in mind, this was my first attempt at creating a comic book. With that all being said, this was my first attempt at creating a comic book. That goes also into the realization that I didn't know the proper basics of creating a comic book. I didn't know the basics of creating a character or anything beyond that. You need to have a foundation of each character that you're creating. And one of the foundations that you would like to have is what's known as a character sheet. Now, if you do not know what a character sheet is basically a graph, a description of what your character looks like from each perspective. And I'm going to show you an example of what that is right now. So here is Earthboy, the official character, technically like a rough final draft official version of the character sheet of Earthboy. As you can see, Earthboy has a graph, like a measurement on how tall a character is, just a basic depth of what the character looks like. And then you have like a corner view, then you have a front view, a back view, and another corner view. And then you can get creative with it by adding certain reactions and emotions that your character has. So obviously the first one is Earthboy, looking confused, Earthboy looking angry, Earthboy, looking happy or joyful, and Earthboy looking scared. This is a general idea of what a character sheet for your character will look like. And obviously you gotta have a copyright of your work. That is the one thing that I left out in that video. You want to always have a copyright for your content and for your characters, because a lot of people would like to go out into the world steal some people's content, some people's characters, and all that stuff, and claim it as their own. And you wonder why they get copyright claimed. So you want to make sure that your stuff is protected with a copyright. And that's what I did. The second thing I want to go into when creating your character is having a storyboard of what the world that your character is in. And a perfect example of what I mean by this is going into the depths of Creature Fusion, my manga style book that I'm doing. So if we look here, this is one of the pages for Creature Fusion. This is chapter 1. A little depth into Creature Fusion. This manga is going to be a manga inspired comic. It's not all the way going to have the exact format of what a manga is. You know, a manga is a Japanese comic that you read in the back. Here is a perfect example of a manga. This is One Piece. This is literally the first volume of One Piece, and as you can tell, it looks like a regular comic, like a regular book. But as you can tell, it's not a regular comic book. You have to read it from this side. Normally a regular book is this side right here, but it's in the back. That is what a traditional manga is. The panels are drawn like it's an actual manga, black and white. That is a traditional way of drawing manga, even though there are some manga out there that is printed in full color, the cover, the pages, everything. I think one of the examples of a color printed manga is Dragon Ball Z. You want to not that one. You want to build a world that fits right with your character. So in this sense, this is a card game type story. In the sense of, Yu-Gi-Oh, Card Fight Vanguard, Future Card Buddy Fight, all those card games that fit in this description. That's basically what Creature Fusion is a combination of kind of like a combination of Future Card Buddy Fight and a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, and that goes into my next thing. When you're creating a character, it is okay. It is definitely okay to be inspired by any type of media that you watch, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's an anime, whether it's a TV show, whichever one it is 100% okay to be inspired by those artists who created those characters. The whole world of art, animation, just this whole realm revolves around inspiration. Everyone gets inspired by someone, and that's how certain characters, when you look at certain characters, you're like, oh, that kind of has like a certain Dragon Ball Z vibe. All of my characters, whenever people see my characters, they always say, "Oh, that has like a Dragon Ball Z style." And you technically do have a point. I am highly inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. Yeah, I'm very inspired by anime, but not just anime, cartoons. I grew up on cartoons. We all grew up on cartoons. So everything about my characters that I do is in the realm of cartoons. Most technically in the realm of like Looney Tunes. Well, not Looney Tunes. Well, a little bit of Looney Tunes, but in the realm of early Cartoon Network, kind of like Adventure Time. Even though I would like to indulge myself more into more art styles and be inspired by that, so that my characters can evolve a little bit more into that. So the next thing that I want to talk about that is a continuation of the original video that I made a while ago is you don't need to rush a character. You don't need to just draw a character and say that's it, it's done. There's always room for improvement for each character. Why do you think we have what is known as character development? But not just in the realm of character development where the characters personality changes, their whole motives changes, even their physique, their whole design can change over time. I really wish I had a picture, a proper scanned picture of what Earthboy originally looked like, but I do not. But I will actually.
A few moments later.
It's alright. Editing Blazehawk, you know what to do. Just, add in the characters that I am talking about, before and after. You got me? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So, every character can evolve, not just off their personality, not off their motives, and everything like that. Even their design and physique can change. A great example of this is Sung Jin-woo from the anime Solo Leveling. We see Sung Jin-woo as this generic, scrawny little kid who is deemed as the weakest hunter of all mankind. But then, as the story progresses, we see him change in not just character, not just personality, not just motives and everything. We see him change in physique and character design. Like, he literally went from a scrawny kid to a more buffed up version of his older self to this absolute Chad. Yes, I can talk. Yes, I can talk to it. I could talk about Sung Jin-woo like this. Have you seen the first episode of season 2? If anyone doesn't know, season 2 is out. Episode 1 is already out. And if you haven't seen this man already, and just blast a picture in my face of what he looks like. Yeah. Basically proving my point that a lot of characters can change. And I think a greater example of this is when a series starts, you see the characters' designs change, evolve. Another great example of this is One Piece. And I know what some people are gonna say.
Like, I can't get into One Piece, it's too long.
First of all, shut up, thank you. Secondly, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's a long journey, but if you're not built for that long journey, then just don't touch it. Leave it to the people who are built for it. But back on track. When we first start One Piece, it's simple animation, simple characters, simple designs. But as we progress, we see the animation, we see the art style, we see the character designs evolve more and more, and now it's to the point where the animation just goes absolutely crazy. The character designs are just more fresher than what they looked like when the anime first started. And so that's what I mean, that not a character shouldn't be rushed. A character should be designed with love, with care, and with passion. And it's definitely alright to have a little change. Have a little change with it. Those are all the tips that I wanted to just throw out to you as an artist. One artist to another if you are looking into starting to create your own characters. And like I said before, I have created a lot of characters over the years. Some I went back to, some that are still newly in development, still trying to piece together the story, the world around it. But I definitely will say that I'm having a bit of fun. Number one, in my major, I am having an absolute blast, the major that I'm in, because I get to evolve more as an artist, more as a designer, and more as a content creator. And the second thing that I am, excited and happy to do is to create these characters, to create these worlds for them. And obviously, if you watch my videos for the longest of time, I always try to keep my content as family friendly as possible. So that's technically what these characters are going to be, family friendly. I know there are a lot of genres that dwell into like deeper sense, more violent sense. While I would love to explore that, I am just gonna stay in my realm into creating content and creating books that are enjoyable to not just, kids of all ages, but adults of all ages. That's the purpose of Art by Drew. That is the purpose that I want to bring out of my company, because it has been on a hiatus for a long time, but Art by Drew will be coming back stronger and greater than ever, for as long as God will let me. But anyways, I just wanted to make a short video back for the new year, give all my fellow artists out there some small tips on how to properly create your character more. That's basically all I can say for that. So thank you all so much for watching, and also I wanted to also hop on camera to politely say on camera, thank you again for 100 subscribers. We are growing slowly but surely, and that's not a bad thing. Can I please speak? Can I please speak? That's not a bad thing. Sometimes patience gets you to greater rewards, and I am blessed to have gotten this far, and I will continue to do my best to give you content that you can watch and enjoy, and that you can also learn from, because that's the whole preface of what this channel is. It's an art channel to, do art. I will love to do more art challenges along the way. That's basically what I want to do. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much again. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more art tips videos on how to become a better artist, how-to videos, you already know what you need to do. But until then, this is Blazar56 signing off. Until the next video. Thank you again.